got a fan club, I guess. You got a fan club, I guess.
I would start making Bob sit at the back. I always sit at the front.
All right, we're ready to begin with Arkansas. Reminder, video is not permitted in the interview room, so if you need video, you can secure it down at the video distribution area. Please make sure your cell phones are on silent. And we will ask Coach Anderson for some general comments on the game first, and then we'll take your questions for the two student athletes and then excuse them, and then we'll finish up with Coach Anderson. So, Coach, would you begin?
Well, first of all, our guys, they hung in there and found a way to finish the game off. In the first half, I thought we had the game. I thought we made South Carolina really work. In that first game, you don't know how you guys are going to come out. I always said the first game is so interesting because you know the nerves are going. I got guys who've never been in this kind of setting, and so they've got to be able to see it and work with the older guys. Even with the 15-point lead, it's never safe against a Frank Martin team. We were even, I think, in the rebounding department, which I thought the game we'd be worn in the paint. And in the second half, I thought they really just started attacking that glass and kicking out for three-point shots. But I thought our defense came to the rescue in the end. And we made free throws. I mean, we've been shooting not very good this year, but when it counted, we were pretty good tonight. And that's the big key. Again, it's big plays by these guys, whether it be free throws or the big three-point shot that Macon made. As South Carolina made their run. They had a nice rhythm because they played last night, and that's the thing I was worried about. But our guys rose to the occasion, much as they've done all year long.
All right, we'll take your questions for either of the student athletes. Raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. Go ahead. Let's start on the far right.
Jalen, I know you've improved the three-point shooting dramatically this year, but that step back or the deep one there during the run, the Scotty Thurman-like high archer, is that something you practice a lot, or and how good did that feel?
And I don't practice too well. I shoot out every day, but I guess it was kind of like a horse shot, so I used that. But I knew it was good when I left my hands, and he sat back a little bit, so I shot and the clock was running down.
He said horse shot.
Question on the left in the front row right here.
This is for both guys. Yeah, I guess, Mike, that was actually Jalen that hit the three. You gave it to Daryl.
Can I get my credit, Bob?
That's
I
okay.
meant
That's
Jalen.
okay. Sorry.
I
Sorry.
stand corrected, Bob.
Okay, that's okay. I'm sorry. I make
Bob,
mistakes
you're my
all the time.
favorite.
But yeah, Jalen, you just didn't hit the three, but then you made the steal and the layup for the 5 straight points. And Daryl, what, as a great three-point shooter, what do you think of Jalen's shot there?
Clutch.
I want to say clutch, but I gotta truly say I taught him that. I usually make those shots, and I think he looked at me, and he said I can make that same shot. So I actually think he got that shot from me, to be honest. So there it is.
So you want Jalen to respond to that?
Yeah, well, Jalen, you just didn't have the three, then he gets the steal. So he had a quick 5 points, and makes it a 1-point game to a 6-point game.
They've been running. They ran the play the whole time, so I just kind of played it a little bit, and he didn't see me, so I just hit the ball and got the steal and then laid it up. It was a big play down the stretch, and I think it was like 1:30 left, and we needed that stop, so it was good, and we just kept playing defense and knocking down free throws.
You want to tell him about the shot?
What? He seen it. It was wet. You seen the shot.
I mean, you gonna tell him out?
Raise your hand if you have another question for either student athletes. Go to the far right on the middle.
Yeah, Jalen, you had a big game against Florida last time. Are you looking forward to getting to play them again? And Daryl, if you could also talk about playing against Florida second time this year.
Jalen?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great game. We just got to come out, play hard, and just be ourselves. And I mean, we got our first game on our belt, so I think we're gonna be all right. I know it's gonna be a fast-paced game, so I'm ready to play them.
Daryl?
Kind of what he said. It's gonna be an up-tempo game. I think they try to get up and down the floor like we do, and we just gotta execute and get multiple stops and just stay together.
Raise your hand, another question. We'll take it right here on the front.
I might as well let Bob keep that mic.
Claude, you need to look
Go
happier
ahead.
when you call of it.
Go ahead.
Hey, I know you guys have only played Florida a couple times, but they've beaten Arkansas 8 in a row. Arkansas hadn't beaten them since, I think it was 2013. They won 13 out of 14, so they've really been dominant. How do y'all feel about that? Do you feel like maybe this is your chance to break that losing streak?
Actually, I didn't know that, but Yeah, it'd be great to break that losing streak, and it'll be our time to peak, I think.
You want me to take that too? First, Bob, where do you get your stats? Like, you know everything. All right. It would be awesome to break that streak. I didn't know it was that long. You said 0-8. Oh wow. I think it would be awesome to break that streak, and I think we got a great chance at doing it if we just do those things that I said before: staying together, getting stops, and executing on the offensive end.
We got time for one more question for either. Anyone?
Give it to Bob.
All right. We'll excuse the student athletes. You can return to the locker room. Oh, do you have one? Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Just real quick.
Last question.
For both you guys, just the fact that Darius and Adrio played really well today, just kind of your thoughts on their contributions.
Daryl?
Can you repeat that?
He wanted to know what you thought of Adrio.
Bob, give him the mic.
Go ahead. Yeah. That's good. Just Darius and Adrio, the lift that they gave you guys tonight, just, at certain points of the game, really critical.
Bob, man. They came in and they played with a lot of energy. They were critical on the defensive end. Those are two guys that's never worried about the offense. They've always wanted to show coach what they can do on the other end of the floor. So I got to congratulate those guys on that.
That was Jalen also.
Yeah, that was big for us. They was getting big rebounds, deflections, and just active all over the floor. Darius hit some big shots. Joe even hit some big shots and free throws. So we weren't surprised by their presence tonight, but it was great for us.
All right, we'll excuse you back to the locker room. Thank you.
Thank you.
I was just trying to facilitate.
My man, Bob. All the way in St. Louis.
I was trying to help.
Bobby Snapchatting you. I hope you know that.
I didn't know what Snapchat is.
Bob, you are not that old.
All right, we'll try to continue with Coach Anderson. If you have a question, raise your hand, and we'll get a microphone to you. Let's start back there in the middle on the left side.
Coach, you mentioned how these first tournament games can be sort of uncertain, come in with a lot of nerves, a lot of jitters. Do you think it gives you guys an advantage going into tomorrow that Florida hasn't played yet and is still dealing with that?
I don't think so. Coaches, they always have these assumptions that, because you do play. I mean, we came in last year and we were top seed, one of the top 4 seeds, and came in and just played with a nice rhythm in our first game. So Florida's a very good basketball team. They got some senior guards, and the senior guard, especially in Chioza, a very good basketball player. And we got Jalen Hudson and, of course, Alan Kavon, who's from Arkansas. I'm sure those guys will be looking forward to playing. They're rested up and should be an entertaining game. They're a dynamic three-point shooting team, so our defense is going to really have to step it up. And I'm looking at the offensive rebounds that we gave up, and that's the only stat I'm really disappointed in. We gave up 18 offensive rebounds, and I know Florida is one of those teams that, although they don't have size, but those guys do. They're very athletic, and so we're going to have to continue to play good basketball. All I want our guys to do is just get better from each and every game.
Question on the far right, second row.
Mike, I know, Adriel started before this season, but he was undersized a lot tonight, stepping into that hole with Dustin gone. What did you think of his performance? He had some blocks, some steals, just his overall effort.
I thought he played like a warrior, and that's what we've been looking for. You got to remember, he was starting early in the year. And then, of course, here recently he got sick and lost about 12 pounds. And so now all of a sudden the opportunity presents itself. And I think he's taking advantage of the opportunity. I think he knows what's needed on this basketball team, even having to be on this team last year, and saw what Moses brought to the table, Manuel brought to the table, the mentality. And we got to have that mentality out on the floor, somebody with that toughness, somebody with that grit. Even though he's undersized, he got to play with his big heart. And I thought it was on display, and getting up to the free throw line and knocking down clutch free throws, hit a big shot for us going down the stretch. That's what you need this time of year. You got to have some of them other guys to step up. We've been riding these guys for a while, and so now it's time for some other guys. And that's why even when you talk about Darius Hall, you can see he's oozing with potential, and we saw it on display tonight.
Let's go to the far right, front row.
Mike, you always say they can enjoy it till midnight. Are you going to extend that at all
No.
tonight since they got like an hour?
No, I did not, Bo. As a matter of fact, I almost cut it when I went in there. I said, this is going to be a quick turnaround. So we'll get them guys shower once they get the media in there, get them out of there, get them a hot meal, and get some rest. You know, we had some guys that extended a lot of energy tonight, and a lot's going to be needed tomorrow as well.
All right, question on the front, Bob.
Yeah, Mike, yeah, obviously Florida's kind of had your all's number lately. What makes them a tough matchup, and do you feel good that maybe this is your chance to beat them?
They play well. I mean, the last couple times we played well. We've had some games where we've been right there. We had an overtime game at our place. We had one where we thought we had one down there. So, I mean, it's good teams. You know, they're teams that match up well with each other. And for some reason, they make more plays than we did. You know, they had the luxury of playing at home this year, and I thought they played well. But every year, every game's a different game. So this is in a tournament setting. It's survive and advance, one game at a time, and that's our mentality. So we're looking forward to playing Florida, and I'm sure they're the same. Looking forward to playing us.
Raise your hand if you have another question. Anyone? All right, let's go back to the right, and then we'll come back down on the front over here.
Just watching them have so much fun, and I wonder what it's like with this team, and if that kind of is part of what has helped you guys as a team this year, just their personalities and how they get along.
I think it's been good. You know, I've had an opportunity. You know, I do my radio shows. I let those guys go on, and people get a chance to witness their personalities. And so now, you know, some of you guys get a chance to. They're a good group. You can see they're very thoughtful kids. They're not guys just. You know, obviously they've got some accolades going for them, but I think they're real humble kids, and they make it easier for the young guys, such as a Darius Hall or Adriel Bailey. You can imagine Daniel Gafford being on this big stage. You know, but I think those guys, along with Anton Beard, they make it a little more inviting in that locker room. And as a coach, you couldn't ask. You got to have that. You got to have that where. It's not, you know, I'm on them enough myself, you know, in practice, but the games got to be fun, and they're having fun.
Okay, got time for one more? We'll take it right here. Go ahead.
Mike, what were your thoughts on Jalen's, you know, 5-point swing he did there that, you know, shot clock's run down, I don't know, it was about 26 feet or something, then he gets the steal and the basket. Just how big was that sequence?
Well, first of all, he got his fourth foul, I think, with maybe like 5 minutes to go. And then I think we were leading. Then, of course, they made a run, and I figured, you know, it's time to let him just ride it out. So I think he came in with like 3:59 or 4:59, I don't know. And but you know, he's supposed to make big plays. He's a tremendous player, and he sees the opportunity. You know, made that big shot. You know, where the shot clock was running down, and then, like you said, proceeded to anticipate what they were doing and took advantage of it. So that's what good players do. And we had needed somebody to step up for us. And he was one of those guys to step up. But it was, again, if you look at what took place in this game here, the swing, it just kept going back and forth in the second half. Even when we got that lead, it wasn't safe. But our guys showed some resilience, showed some resolve, and finished off the game with defensive stops and making free throws. So, again, good win. Next game up.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good night.